Have you noticed something strange about most people? They dream about success. They watch motivational videos. They make big plans late at night. But after one difficult day, they stop. The biggest problem in most lives is not lack of talent. It is not lack of money either. The real problem is inconsistency. People want confidence without practice. They want success without patience. They want change without discipline. But life follows a quiet rule. Small effort repeated every single day becomes something powerful. One focused hour daily may look small, but after months and years, it can completely transform a person's future. My name is Ayon, and today's story is about a porter seller who changed his life with just one page every night. And maybe this story will change something inside you too. In a peaceful village surrounded by green fields and small rivers, there lived a tea seller named Sam. Every morning before sunrise, cold fog covered the narrow roads of the village. Birds sang softly from mango trees while farmers walked quietly toward their fields. Near the old bus stop stood Sam's tiny tea stall. It was made from old wood and rusted metal sheets. Before the first bus arrived each morning, Sam lit the stove and prepared hot tea for workers, travelers, and farmers. Sam was only around 30 years old, but stress made him look much older. His clothes were clean, but worn out. His hands were rough from years of hard work. Every night after working nearly 14 hours, he counted his small earnings with tired eyes. But no matter how hard he worked, his life never changed. Some customers insulted him for being poor. Some rich travelers threw money onto the counter without even looking at his face. And deep inside, Sam slowly began believing something painful. Maybe this is all my life will ever be. One rainy evening after closing the stall, Sam sat quietly alone. Rain tapped softly against the metal roof, while cold wind entered through the broken corners. He opened his small money box and stared silently at the few coins inside. Then he whispered to himself, "This cannot be my whole life." At that moment, an old traveler entered the stall. He wore simple clothes and carried a small cloth bag. His beard was white, and his eyes looked calm and wise. "Can I have 1 cup of tea?" he asked gently. Sam nodded and prepared the tea quietly. The old man noticed the sadness on Sam's face. "You look tired," he said softly. Sam gave a weak smile. "Life feels heavy when you work every day, but stay in the same place." The old traveler stayed silent for a moment. Then he asked, "Do you read books?" Sam laughed softly. "Books? Poor people don't have time for books." The old man looked directly into his eyes and replied, "Poor people cannot afford to ignore books." Those words stayed inside Sam's mind. Before leaving, the traveler opened his cloth bag and took out an old dusty book. He handed it to Sam and said, "The world changes slowly. Read 1 page every night. Not 10 pages, not 1 chapter, just 1 page daily." Sam looked confused. "How can 1 page change my life?" The old man smiled gently. "1 drop fills a bucket. 1 step finishes a journey. 1 page can change the way a man thinks." And then he disappeared quietly into the rain. That night, after cleaning his stall, Sam opened the old book. The pages were yellow and worn out. The language was simple, but the ideas felt powerful. The very first line said, "A man changes his future when he changes what he does daily." Sam read only 1 page because he was exhausted. But before sleeping, he kept thinking about those words. The next night, he read another page, then another, then another. Days turned into weeks. Every night after closing the tea stall, Sam sat beneath a small lantern and read quietly for 1 hour. Sometimes his English was weak, so he read slowly. Sometimes he repeated the same sentence many times, but he never skipped a single day. Soon, villagers started noticing him. One man laughed and said, "Sam wants to become a professor now." Another joked, "Books don't fill empty stomachs." Some boys mocked him every evening. while passing his stall. But Sam stayed silent because deep inside, he had started understanding something important. Most people laugh at discipline because they cannot control themselves. Months passed. The book slowly began changing Sam's thinking. Before, he only worked hard physically. Now, he started thinking carefully too. He learned about habits, patience, communication, saving money, emotional control. He learned that successful people think differently. He learned that poor decisions slowly create poor lives. One day, a customer became angry because the tea arrived late. Earlier, Sam would have argued back, but this time he stayed calm. Another evening, a worried farmer spoke about his business problems. Sam shared a lesson he had read about consistency and planning. The farmer looked surprised. The poor tea seller suddenly sounded wise. Slowly, people began respecting him, not because he became rich, but because he became different. His words carried calmness. His actions carried discipline. His face carried patience. One cold winter night, Sam read a sentence that changed him deeply. Small daily improvements are more powerful than sudden success. He closed the book slowly. That sentence hit his heart hard. For years, he had wanted life to change quickly, but now he understood the truth. Big success is usually hidden inside small repeated actions. The next morning, Sam started improving his tea stall little by little. He cleaned the place better. He spoke politely with every customer. He saved a tiny amount of money daily. He practiced simple English sentences quietly at night. He observed successful shopkeepers carefully. He wasted less time gossiping, and most importantly, he protected his 1-hour reading habit like treasure. Years passed quietly. The village slowly changed too. More buses arrived, more travelers visited. New shops opened near the highway, but Sam was no longer the same poor tea seller. His tea stall became cleaner, calmer, and more popular than the others. Travelers enjoyed sitting there because Sam spoke respectfully and shared thoughtful conversations. Some students even visited him at night just to listen to his advice. One young boy once asked him, "How did you become so wise?" Sam smiled gently. "I only gave one focused hour daily to improving myself." The boy looked shocked. "That's all," Sam nodded. People underestimate small efforts because results do not appear immediately. One evening, Sam opened a small reading corner beside his tea stall. He placed old books there for children and workers. Again, villagers laughed. A tea seller opening a library. Ridiculous, but Sam ignored them. Because by now, he understood another truth. People who never try to improve themselves often attack those who do. After some months, children started gathering there after school. Workers read newspapers before returning home. Young boys practiced English together, slowly. The reading corner became the heart of the village. Years later, Sam expanded his tea stall to a beautiful cafe beside the highway. Travelers from different cities stopped there regularly. Some people came only to meet the wise tea seller, who spoke with peace and intelligence. But the most beautiful thing was this: even after becoming successful, Sam never stopped his 1-hour habit. Every single night, he still sat quietly with a book. Because success did not change him, consistency built him. One summer evening, Sam noticed a tired young man sitting sadly beside the road. The boy reminded him of himself many years ago. Sam offered him tea and asked softly, "What troubles you?" The young man sighed deeply. "I want to change my life, but nothing works." Sam smiled gently. "Tell me honestly, how many focused hours do you give daily to your future?" The boy stayed silent. Sam continued, "Most people want results without routine. They want confidence without practice. They want success without patience. They want change without discipline." Then Sam walked inside the cafe and returned with an old dusty book. It was the same book the traveler had given him years ago. He handed it to the boy and said, "Read one page every night." The young man looked confused. Only one page, Sam smiled warmly. One page daily can quietly defeat years of failure. The evening wind moved softly through the peaceful village. Birds flew across the orange sky, while Sam watched silently with grateful eyes. Because now, he finally understood something most people never learn. Your future is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in small daily actions nobody notices. It is built when you continue after losing motivation. It is built when you study while others waste time. It is built when you improve quietly without showing the world. And sometimes, one focused hour daily is enough to completely change a life. And maybe this is the reminder you needed today. You do not need to become successful overnight. You only need to become slightly better every single day. Small steps look weak in the beginning, but over time, they become unstoppable. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Tales by Hasiba for more emotional and motivational stories that help you improve your English, understand life deeply, and grow mentally stronger little by little.